Yeah, there's a
Brent?
documentary that's about the Neo-Futurists, the theater that's on the north side, not far from, just in between where we're at here and in Rogers Park in Andersonville. The Neo-Futurists, it's a documentary about the process of putting on one of their shows, and it sort of follows the company's day-to-day, but also it looks at three members of the company and their day-to-day life as well as they work within the Neo-Futurists company.
What is the futurist company again?
It's called the Neo-Futurists. It's on the north. It's in Andersonville.
Mm-hmm.
It's a theater group. They're pretty well known for their late night shows, which is now called The Infinite Jest.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been up there for quite some time, probably 25 years now. And so they have a really big following. But yeah, it's called The Neo-Futurists. That documentary is playing Sunday at the Loyola Damon Center.
Wonderful. Okay. It's good that you bring this to our attention because there are still some people that don't know about them, like
Sure.
me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that's it. There's a lot of documentaries that are really interesting, and I think to me, that's always the great thing about any documentary is that you start to watch it and you see these great stories about something that you either knew nothing about or maybe you knew just a little bit about. You heard the name of the band or something, and then you follow the full story, and it's just so intriguing and so engaging to watch a documentary that's well done like that. So we have, just a lot of all of our projects are really well done. So, but the well done documentaries can really teach you a lot, and you can, be engaged.
Again, we have Brent Kado of the Chicago Independent Film Festival and also the Chicago Comedy Film Festival here with us at WZRD Chicago today. So, Brent, when producers come to you with films, have they already finished the film and come to you for screening it, or do they come with a project in mind and then work with you as they produce the film and then finally submit it to the festival?
No, all of our projects are completely finished. They submit them through a couple different online platforms that are really popular. And then we just look at all the films, judge them, and narrow it down to the top 5% or so to get to the 42 projects that we have coming up this weekend. So, yeah, all projects are completely finished, and they run a wide variety of, higher budget style films to, much more independently DIY kind of projects. So we have a great variety in that regard too. Everything, again, really well done, but projects that are student films, first time filmmakers, up into people that have a little bit of a budget and are experienced filmmakers and have a really good crew that helps them make the movie.
So you said that the Chicago Independent Film Festival is a nonprofit. So do the producers get money from you for screening the film, or do you have to pay them, or do they pay you? How does it work?
Well, they pay for the submissions, and then everything just goes back into our programming costs, since we're not making a lot of money off of the ticket sales. So most of the nonprofit end of things, we're just trying to get sponsors and grants and things on that end to bring in just to help us make our programming better. We also, through the Chicago Comedy Film Festival, do a lot of educational sort of programs, improv classes, comedy filmmaking classes that we try to use the grant money and sponsorship money to help with those programs as well.
Oh, that sounds very interesting. It's as if you're nurturing the arts community. And
yeah.
Is that your mission?
Yeah, it's part of our mission for sure. Our original mission for Chicago Comedy Film Festival was to be, promoting comedy film as an art form, because the Comedy Film Festival was born out of an experience of myself and the co-founder Jessica are both filmmakers, and we had just had our own comedy film that we had put through the film festival circuit. And as we had finished with the film festival circuit with our own project, we'd realized that back at that time there wasn't a lot of comedy film festivals, and the film festivals that were around, they didn't focus on comedy. Most film festivals, if it's not a specific comedy film festival, it's really hard for a comedy to find its space in there because you have so many good dramas, you have documentaries, of course, and just those projects that film festivals like to sort of focus on that are a little bit more cutting edge, and comedy kind of gets lost in there. So we started the Comedy Film Festival, sort of born out of that experience of our own. And the Independent Film Festival, same thing. We make comedy films, but we've also made non-comedy films. And I personally just have had success with my own non-comedy films and film festivals, but just really saw a need in Chicago for international independent film and TV projects to be screened for people. So we just decided that we'd try to start another project to go in coordination with the Comedy Film Festival.
What are the lengths of the films so that prospective producers could submit, have an idea of how long their film can be to submit?
Sure. I think our longest film is probably around an hour and 45 minutes, but we would, we accept anything that, if it's a good movie and it happens to be over 2 hours, of course we would want to accept it and bring it in. And then in the past for the Comedy Festival, I think we've had projects that are under a minute, like really good short and just a really funny short film that's, just kind of like a little bit or a little joke that people put together in a really good, similar to like a YouTube style video, but done as a short film. For the Independent Festival, I think the shortest we have some music videos that are around 3 minutes. And I think in the TV portion of the festival, we have some like proof of concept sizzle reels that are maybe under 3 minutes too. So it's a wide range.
What's a proof of concept?
Just basically like a trailer that shows what your project might be about, that you could show to potential producers or investors. So kind of just putting together your idea, but in video form, of course, and showing it to having something that you can show to potential producers or investors. That way they can visually see what the project is. With TV being so popular today and being, and just such an explosion of TV, a lot of people are shooting proof of concepts so they can bring those to networks and producers and investors to show them, this is what my show's about. So we decided that we would include that as a sort of a category for the independent TV part of the festival, so people could have a place to show those instead of just sending them off to producers and stuff.
The independent TV portion of the festival, is that on Saturday or is it on Sunday?
It's both days, actually. There's just different blocks of programming where we show pilots, proof of concepts, both. And so it happens on Saturday and Sunday, just at different time blocks.
Okay. And you also mentioned platforms where producers could submit their films. Could you give us a little description about the different platforms? Sure. Or how to search for them? Yeah,
of course. The two major ones right now are Film Freeway and Without a Box. Film Freeway is they're both really good platforms. Without a Box is through Amazon and partnered with IMDb, which is all under Amazon's umbrella. Film Freeway is a little more independent, I guess you would call it, but they're a huge platform. There's more and more coming out every day. There's one called Fest Home that's a new platform that's just come out in the past year. So film festival submission sites, if you just Google that, you can find Film Freeway or Without a Box really easy. They're also linked on all film festival websites, including our two film festivals. If you go there to the submit buttons, you can just see where you can click on, and it's just you sign up for an account, but then when you have your account and you have your film uploaded, you can just submit to multiple film festivals once you have your account created.
So the platforms are available on your website. Is that what you said?
Yes, correct.
And what is the name of your website?
We have, for this one, it's ChicagoIndependentFilmFestival.com. And for the other one, it's ChicagoComedyFilmFestival.com. And there's just buttons, buttons or links on there that you can click to get through to the submission sites. And they're relatively simple to use. The main thing is you just have to fill out your information about your film and upload your film.
So could classes here at NEIU and students here, could they, if they have a work that they find very promising, could they submit as well?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have a student category, or they can just submit regularly. Our student film prices are usually a little bit cheaper, so that's good. And we're also
like how much? What is the price?
Oh man, I don't know off the top of my head what the
just approximate.
Yeah, like if it's a short film, maybe 20 starts off at 20. It kind of goes up at as the submission cycle goes on. It gets a little bit higher. The prices raise up. We just encourage people to submit earlier so we can not have a lot of films to watch before we announce our submissions to the public, because it gets really hectic, the last couple of weeks before we need to announce.
Do you have
films.
any early bird discounts?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of an early bird discount. It's, it starts off really low, and it definitely gets up to probably double or triple that by the time at the end. So we encourage people to submit early. And we also, if it's, people that are Chicago-based, or if even if it's not Chicago-based, but definitely Chicago-based films, student films, first-time filmmakers, they can just send us an email, and we can also give them a discount code for films, because, we want to see as many projects as we can. And if obviously as an independent filmmaker or a student filmmaker, money, submitting to a lot of festivals, money can become an issue. So we definitely are often giving out half-off waivers and things like that to filmmakers.
Well, thank you for supporting the local filmmakers.
Yeah, of course. Well, we do it for any filmmaker, but I feel, that there's no reason to not reach out. And if there's a legitimate concern of why you can't afford to pay the full price, student filmmaker, your budget has just been cut down because you've used so much on your film. We're sympathetic. As a filmmaker, I understand that as well, that, you need money for a lot of different things just to create your film, let alone to live your daily life. So,
well, $20 to $40, that's relatively affordable. Perhaps, if necessary, students could hold a bake sale, and it might be able to cover the cost.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do funding campaigns to try to get into festivals, and it's a big thing, because people want to be involved in festivals. They want their film to get in, and they want to maybe win an award or something too. So yeah, I think that a lot of people do Kickstarters and GoFundMes and stuff to get money to submit to a lot of festivals. So yeah, there's different ways to make that happen.
So could you describe for us a little about the two venues for the festival, the new 400 Theater and the Loyola Damon Cinema Center?
Sure. The new 400 is in Rogers Park on Sheridan, right there, not too far from the Loyola Red Line stop. A great independent theater, one of the few truly independent theaters in the city. They're not owned by any big theater chain. They're just a locally owned business, and it's a great place to watch movies. They have great food and drink specials as well. So a lot of people that live on the north side of Chicago know the new 400. It used to be called the 400. Now it's the new 400. It's been updated and turned into first run movie theater, and it's a great space. It has it's a great movie theater, just like a normal movie theater. A great place to see independent film. And then
how many screens does the new 400 have?
They have 4. We'll be using 2 on Saturday, so we have 2 different theaters to watch films on Saturday. Then the Loyola Damon Center is it's on the campus of Loyola, also just very close to the Loyola Red Line stop, and nice new space. It's one big theater, extremely well designed. A great place to see a movie as well. The Sunday being on campus there is free for Loyola students. Also, I guess I get off track here a little bit. For students, including students here, Columbia students, DePaul students, Loyola students, if you show your student ID for tickets over the weekend, it's free. So we can cover that again as we get later in the show. But free tickets for students is kind of another thing that we do for college students. Also CPS students as well, I suppose, if anyone hears about that and wants to come. But yeah, the Loyola Damon Center is really nice. And so there'll be probably a lot of students there from Columbia. I teach at Columbia, so a lot of my students and Columbia students will be there. And yeah, it's a great place. We're also co-sponsored by Loyola's film and digital media department, so that's really cool.
Is it one screen at the Damon Center?
Yeah, one screen. It's a really big theater. It's really nice. It's a high tech.
Well, I can't wait to go see it.
Yeah.
So, do you have any appearances by the filmmakers?
Yeah, we have a lot of filmmakers coming in, and we're from all over the world. Actually, we've always had really good success with people coming in from around the world for the comedy festival too. But for this one, we're definitely getting people coming in from France, England, and not 100% sure. He's still working out his ticket, but we have a filmmaker who has family here in Chicago coming in from China.
Oh,
yeah. So he's, obviously he'll have to get his ticket pretty soon, but he has a pilot in our TV portion of the film. And we're super excited to have that kind of reach for people to be able to come to Chicago and see their film with an audience. And well, there'll be a lot of filmmakers. They'll be around to talk to people. If if they're available, you can try to find them and have a conversation with filmmakers from around the world. So
there will be question Q&A conversations. Oh, wonderful! That's really
always
nice.
We always have Q&As afterwards if the filmmakers are there and the actors if they're wanting to do it. We have the Q&A, and those are really valuable too. And you can get to learn about how the films were made and the process, and then sort of have know who's involved with the film. So maybe you can talk to them later.
Nice. So could you give us a little background? How did you and Jessica come to? You said that you wanted more comedy films to get out there, but anything else that contributed to your forming the nonprofit, the Chicago Comedy Film Festival?
Yeah. Like I said, we were going through the film festival circuit ourselves with our own films and just learning a lot, talking to a lot of other filmmakers, both through going through the film festival circuit, but also just talking to filmmakers in general as our peers. And we just really wanted to offer an opportunity for, that kind of film to be shown. And we've had great success with the Comedy Film Festival. And we just kind of felt that talking to people again in Chicago, talking to the Chicago filmmaking community, there really was a lack of independent film screening, international independent film screening and TV screening. So we, again, just saw like as a need that could be filled to both be an international independent film festival for Chicago, but also to be a independent TV festival for Chicago.
So are these TV shows, are they being submitted to the main outlets, or how are they? What are the aims of the producers who are submitting? Who are you are showcasing, but how are they submitting to their media outlets, the TV?
There definitely will be looking to get onto platforms whether that's regular TV or Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon, like that. I'm sure that's their goal. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, our part of helping with that is just giving them the recognition that they can show to potential producers, investors, or studios that they, were able to be part of a festival. That gives it some sort of credibility, and they can bring that to the networks and try to pitch those shows to them. And I hope that a lot of these shows eventually make it onto platforms where people can see them, and they can turn into regular series that will be available week after week for people to watch.
Wow. Okay, Brent, thank you very much. I hope that perhaps you could speak with someone at our, maybe the department chair at the Communications, Media, and Theater Department here at Northeastern Illinois University.
Yeah, that would be great. And like I said, for students, if you show your student ID, tickets are free for the weekend. We would love for you just to join us and to see what quality international independent film looks like and TV projects. Stop by the New 400 or Loyola Damon Cinema, and tickets are on our website, chicagoindependentfilmfestival.com. And
Okay, yes. And of course, after they've seen some of the films, then maybe they have some ideas about future projects.
Sure.
And then the students and the department could work with you in the future.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'd like to, like I said, I teach at Columbia in the TV department, and I'd love to help, aspiring filmmakers and TV producers figure out what the best way is for their ideas to come to fruition. And this is a great way to, start that conversation, coming to a film festival, having some ideas, talking to filmmakers, talking to myself, and see what the future might hold for them.
Okay. Again, the tickets are available at ChicagoIndependentFilmFestival.com. Thank you very much, Brent Kado of the Chicago Comedy Film Festival and now the Chicago Independent Film Festival, for joining us at WZRD Chicago 88.3 FM.